At its peak, Lakewood Church in Houston drew tens of thousands of worshipers every weekend, generating over $90 million annually. Its services were a spectacle, blending faith with showmanship on an arena scale. The church's identity became inseparable from its ability to fill seats and broadcast hope to a global audience. Yet behind the grandeur, cracks were forming. What once seemed unstoppable, a brand built on positivity, abundance, and massive attendance, is now facing empty pews, declining revenue, and public scrutiny. Understanding this transformation requires examining both the public spectacle and the unseen vulnerabilities beneath the surface, transforming a sports arena into a sanctuary. In 2003, Lakewood signed a long-term lease for Houston's former NBA arena, a 16,800-seat venue. Over the next 2 years, it underwent a $100 million transformation. Construction added 5 stories for offices, children's ministries, and a broadcast center. The sanctuary itself rivals concert halls, with massive high-definition screens, advanced lighting systems, and audio-visual equipment designed for flawless delivery. Every corner of the space was engineered for a packed audience. The scale was not just aesthetic, it was functional. The arena's energy became central to Lakewood's identity, turning faith into an event and every service into a broadcast-ready spectacle. A financial powerhouse, Lakewood Church runs on a complex financial engine. Annual revenue hovers around $90 million, primarily from tithes, offerings, and branded resources. Over 70% of the budget funds television broadcasts, weekly services, and nationwide touring events. More than 350 staff manage everything from worship planning to translation and production. Beyond Houston, Joel Osteen's television program reaches millions across over 100 countries. Book sales further bolster revenue, with over 20 million copies sold worldwide. Osteen himself draws income from royalties and speaking fees rather than a church salary, reinforcing the prosperity-focused message that has defined Lakewood's global brand. Worship as entertainment. The core of Lakewood's appeal is its message of prosperity and hope. Sermons promise God's favor, better days, and abundance through positivity and faith. Sin, suffering, and controversy are rarely addressed. This approach is simple, repeatable, and highly marketable. It transformed Lakewood into more than a church, into a global media platform and motivational brand. Large-scale production, immersive audio-visual design, and carefully crafted messaging created a sense of excitement and optimism, reinforcing the church's identity as both spiritual haven and spectacle. But this model relied heavily on energy from a live audience and high attendance to feel complete. The Hurricane Harvey controversy. In August 2017, Hurricane Harvey devastated Houston, displacing thousands. While schools, smaller churches, and convention centers opened as shelters, Lakewood's 16,800-seat arena remained locked. Online, residents shared photos showing dry streets and locked doors, contradicting the church's claims of inaccessibility. Viral images and social media posts fueled public anger. 2 days later, Lakewood announced it would open as a shelter in partnership with the city and Red Cross. By then, national headlines had highlighted a gap between the church's image of generosity and its actions, sparking debate over whether the megachurch served people or its own brand. Criticism from within Lakewood's approach has drawn scrutiny from other Christian leaders. Theologians like Michael Horton criticized its message as a false gospel, replacing core Christian teachings with promises of personal success. John MacArthur called the sermons hollow, prioritizing positivity over spiritual depth. Osteen's avoidance of doctrinal controversy seen in interviews on topics like salvation or Mormonism, was a deliberate strategy to maintain broad appeal. While this kept doors open to all, critics argue it left the foundation of faith vague. Internal and external commentary alike highlighted a tension between mass appeal and spiritual authenticity, a balance the church struggled to maintain. The pandemic exposes the model. The COVID-19 pandemic forced Lakewood to close its doors, moving services online. High-quality streaming replaced live audiences, but the energy of packed pews was gone. Sermons filmed in empty arenas or from Osteen's home sounded repetitive and thin without the crowd's response. What once felt uplifting in person now seemed empty on screen. Attendance and engagement declined. The pandemic highlighted the church's reliance on spectacle and crowd energy. Without these, the carefully constructed experience exposed its limits, showing that the content itself could not carry the same weight or impact when divorced from a live, immersive environment. Declining attendance and financial strain. Lakewood's attendance has dropped to roughly 25,000 weekly, half of its peak. Empty sections underscore the mismatch between the arena's scale and the congregation's size. Financial strain has become apparent, with documents indicating revenue fell by nearly a third since 2019. During the pandemic, the church accepted a $4.4 million payroll protection program loan to maintain staff. But public backlash forced its return, raising questions about fiscal responsibility. Even small operational crises, like the discovery of $600,000 hidden behind tiles linked to past theft, have compounded anxiety and trust issues among staff, revealing the fragility beneath Lakewood's polished surface. Security concerns in a mega church. On February 11, 2024, an armed woman entered Lakewood during a service, wounding her son and prompting intervention from security officers. The incident underscored inherent vulnerabilities. Megachurches must remain open and welcoming to thrive, yet their size and constant flow of visitors make them difficult to protect. Armed security can only partially mitigate risk. Large congregations, high visibility, and fixed operational costs demand openness. But openness creates exposure. The model that enabled mass engagement also introduced unavoidable risk, forcing church leadership to confront challenges that smaller congregations rarely face. The limits of spectacle. Lakewood's grandeur, once a symbol of innovation, now highlights exposure. Online streaming, digital content, and competition for attention have reduced the uniqueness of the experience. What once felt immersive now feels ordinary, revealing the gaps between audience expectations and delivery. Spectacle alone cannot sustain loyalty when the market and culture shift. Empty seats and declining donations reflect broader societal trends. In the U.S., only 28% of adults attend weekly religious services. Even megachurches with global reach cannot escape the effects of changing attitudes toward faith and community participation. The lessons of Lakewood. Lakewood's story illustrates the risks of blending faith with brand and entertainment. The church's success was built on vision, spectacle, and a promise of abundance. Yet these same factors exposed it to financial, social, and ethical vulnerabilities. Public missteps, internal criticism, and external crises revealed the fragility behind the polished surface. The rise and decline of the church emphasized that a faith-based enterprise depends not just on marketing and production, but on authenticity, transparency, and meaningful engagement with its community. Searching for meaning beyond the brand. As Lakewood's empty seats demonstrate, spectacle can fade, but the human search for meaning continues. Faith, when treated as a product or brand, faces unique pressures. Revenue expectations, media scrutiny, and operational demands can overshadow spiritual objectives. Lakewood's trajectory shows both the allure and the risk of mega-church success. Audiences respond to hope and optimism, but when circumstances reveal gaps between image and reality, loyalty falters. The challenge for any large religious organization is balancing accessibility, entertainment, and authenticity, ensuring that its purpose remains grounded in service rather than spectacle.